Morning, my dear students. Welcome to online classes. This is C.H. John Paul, lecturer in English of Sri Venkateswara Degree College of Arts and Science, Amalapuram, affiliated Adikavananda University, Rajamahendravaram. We have been discussing about the second year, fourth semester CSS Communication and Soft Skills paper. Unit-1 soft skills. The first lesson, positive attitude, is completed. The second one, body language, is completed. The third lesson, SWOT or SWOT analysis, completed. The fourth one is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. This is very important. What is emotion and what is intelligence? Emotions, meaning of emotions, like emotions are feelings. Emotions are feelings that occur when a person in reactions with other people. Emotions play an important role in sharing one's personality, like love, surprise, happiness, sadness, sorrow, fear, and worry are some basic emotions. Okay, this is the emotions. So the following are four polite words or phrases that people use in a day-to-day life. They have a lot of significance and implications. Significance and implications in communicating with each other, as they are reflections of emotions and gather respect. So match the expressions against their uses. Excuse me, this is a polite word. Please, this is also thank you. Sorry. Here the match another one. When to use excuse me, to disturb others, to enter in the middle of the conversation or communication or anything. Please, to take request, it means please, completely polite request. And thank you, to express gratitude. So that is the main important thing in life. And the fourth one is sorry, to accept mistake. If you say the sorry, you are indirectly accept your mistakes. So these are the some emotions, like we use different expressions to convey emotions or feelings, regrets, etc. They are a part of what we call emotional intelligence. Here are four expressions in the left column and their purpose in right column already match to all these things. So have you noticed how emotions play a role in business deals, making friendship, developing relations, etc. Have you noticed how emotions play a role in business deals, making friendship, developing relations, etc.? How do arguments, requests, polite expressions, harsh exchanges work in different situations? So read on to find out the value and uselessness of emotions and intelligence in these days of competition. For example, you have take one story or poem. That poem name is Soap. Written by Nizam Iskil, is the great writer and poet also. In this story, in this poem, discussing about one Man shown the emotions and control the emotions. How to control his or her emotions? That is the emotional intelligence. So explain now poem. Nizam scale poem Soap is a humorous description of an ordinary incident at a shop. Incident at a shop. It is simple and funny, but it conveys a valuable lesson in emotional intelligence. Already I said that. It explains the importance of manners in public places. It is very, very important. The speaker goes to a shop to buy a cake of soap. Buy a cake of soap. The speaker very politely, the shop, sorry, the shop owner gives the speaker a defective piece. The speaker very politely points out the defect, but the shopkeeper harshly denies it, and it means reject. The speaker controls his temper, keeps cool, and smiles him. At him. But he argues rudely and vulgarly. Rudely and vulgarly. The speaker loses his control and shouts back. Slowly, a crowd gathers surrounding the people. The speaker realizes that the incident is gradually turning ugly. So he comes back to his claim mode and accepts the defective bar of soap. Thus, the speaker avoids an incident scheme and shows the reader how emotional intelligence can save one from certain troubles. Here are explained one a beautiful and humorous and ordinary incident at a shop. So I say in Telugu few words in belongs to this story. ఒకరోజు ఒక వ్యక్తి సబ్బు సోప్ కొనడం దుకాణానికి వెళ్ళాడు. దుకాణం దగ్గర ఉన్న షాప్ ఓనర్ సోప్ ఇచ్చారు, కానీ అది నాట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్. ఈయన ఆ పర్సన్ చాలా పొలైట్నెస్తో ఇట్ ఈస్ డిఫెక్టివ్ ఈజ్ దేర్ లైక్ దిస్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్డ్. But the shop owner rudely and harshly to give answer. The shop owner cannot understand. Like this, some discussion has happened. The surrounding people, నెమ్మదిగా చుట్టూ ఉన్న ప్రజలంతా గుంపుకోవడం, క్రమంకర దురదృష్టకరంగా దిగజారిపోవడం, ఇవన్నీ వెంటనే జరిగిపోతుంది. ఇమీడియట్లీ the person identified the surrounding situation. This is not correct. So he accepted that defective soap, closed that the situation and incredible and sad incident. So here you have learned a beautiful and valuable lesson in emotional intelligence, how he controlled. Here are the poem is is an interesting descriptions of an incident at a shop. The speaker needs a cake of soap for washing purpose. He goes to nearby small shop, but the shopkeeper gives him a defective piece. You have learned from this important and valuable things story. How to apply this story to us? How to apply this story to us? This is a simple and funny poem by Nizam Ezkale. Present basic principles of life. Present basic principles of life. If the shopkeeper has exaggerated his emotional intelligence, the conflict could have been easily avoided. The customer shows his emotional intelligence and the scan comes to a peaceful end. Peaceful end. So I say the step by step you have how to apply this story, learn from the important things. The first point, emotional intelligence teaches survival of the fittest. Emotional intelligence teaches survival of the fittest. It means the poem teaches principles of life, adaptability, though proper utilization of intelligence in our day-to-day life. Take this in this story, the customer and shopkeeper provides this point well. He uses the emotional intelligence. He balances his temper. He saves himself. He saves the shopkeeper too. So, emotional intelligence teaches survival of the fittest in the society. The second one is people get hurt emotionally when their expectation fail. Very, very important. People get hurt emotionally when their expectations fail. Expectations fail or failed expectations hurt emotions. The poem opens with a discussion between a shopkeeper and a poet. The poet wants to buy a branded soap. Shopkeeper gives ordinary soap, saying it is a branded one, and this has ranged him emotionally. The customer expectations is to get a quality piece of soap, but the shopkeeper gives him a defective one. Here, expectation lead to disappointed. That hurts one. So the third one is emotional intelligence faces the unexpected in life. What is it? Emotional intelligence faces the unexpected in life. The poet expected branded soap, but he gave non-branded one. Life takes us through some unexpected and disappointment, but intelligence people face them effectively. Remember that. Here are one most important thing learned from in our life. We're expected in the high things, but sometimes we have faced in unexpected things. So emotional intelligence helps one face the unexpected. The speaker faces an unexpected scene, a crowd gathering, not expected, and their strangers shopkeeper shouting at him loudly. The speaker looks up to his emotional intelligence. It saves the speaker and the shopkeeper too. So it is very important. And the fourth one is emotional intelligence searches for solution than problem. A nice quality. Emotional intelligence searches for solution than problem. The poet allowed the shopkeeper a chance to admit that he was selling a non-genuine soap. The poet sought remedy through impeccable manners, as he did not lose his temper. At first and only repeats himself. Seemingly, however, he lost his temper when the shopkeeper did not reveal the truth. Emotional intelligence focus on solution, not the problem. That is very important. The speaker is polite, the shopkeeper is rude. That is the problem. But the emotional intelligence speakers focus on the solution. Hence, the incident comes to a calm close. So, the fifth one is emotions need to be guided by intelligence. Emotions need to be guided by intelligence. The poet not only realized his own offensive words but also confessed that he said them. After realizing that his words gathered a crowd and shopkeeper was much bigger than he was. He left his emotional impulse and started using his brain. So emotions needed to be balanced with intelligence. Balanced. Emotion need to be guided by intelligence like that. The speaker is polite first, but later becomes angry. His intelligence shows him his mistake and the shopkeeper's strength. The knowledge helps him to balance his emotions and save himself and the shopkeeper too. That is, the emotion need to be guided by intelligence. And the sixth one is emotional intelligence is key for customer engagement. Emotional intelligence is key for customer engagement. Negotiations required more emotional strength. The poet's final words serve as a warning and a revival that he was unprepared for the shopkeeper's attitude. But for next time, he would be ready not to accept a poor commodity for the real thing. So, emotional intelligence is the key in maintaining better relations. The shopkeeper has little emotional intelligence. Hence, he strains his relations with his customers. He uses his brusque strength instead of smooth emotional intelligence. Smooth emotional intelligence. The next one is argument never convince people or force. Arguments or force don't help to you. The speaker started to argue with the poet by saying that he must have brought whatever he had given. The poet, the shopkeeper, not speaker, the poet retained his integrity and his principles. He was not in a position to argue his poet at this stage and would not allow himself to be compromised next time. Compromise next time. The shopkeeper uses argument and strength. He wins here not just because of the customer's emotional intelligence, of his strength, but mainly because of the customer's emotional intelligence. He wins here only race not just because yes, of his strength, but mainly because of the customer's emotional intelligence. The next important point is emotions will create a positive and negative imagine. Emotions will create a positive and negative imagine. Poet was an intellectual and attempted to argue intelligently, but only to get rejection from shopkeeper. Emotions can make or mar. Emotions, if used in a balanced way with the guidance of intelligence, can yield positive results. Emotions, if used without restraints, result in negative impact. The speaker's position proves these 2 points behind doubt. And the ninth point is emotional intelligence selects a positive language. Emotional intelligence selects positive language. Shopkeeper used informal language which reflected the personality of shopkeeper. Poet was intended to replace shopkeeper, but shopkeeper was very rude in his behavior. Emotional intelligence selects positive, polite, decent language. So the poet uses polite language as long as he is exercising emotional intelligence. The shopkeeper has no emotional intelligence, hence his language is rude. And the 10th one, emotional intelligence or imbalance is abnormal for courteous life. During the argument, public gathered over and started to controversy, enjoying the controversy. Emotional intelligence not creates the controversy. Emotional imbalance comes in the way of courteous life. The shopkeeper has no emotional balance, hence he fails to lead a courteous life. And the 11th one, emotional intelligence withdraws from problems. Emotional intelligence helps one to come out of problems. Shopkeeper tried to force the decision on poet and compelled to pursue to take non-branded soap. The poet accepted the decision unwillingly as he preferred remedy than rivalry. The shopkeeper hurts the emotions of the speaker. He turned angry, but his emotional intelligence helps him to quickly balance his moods. His emotional intelligence helps him to prepare readiness, not rivalry or material victory. And the last one in this story, applying of the last point, emotional intelligence adapts the situations. Adapts the situation. Emotional intelligence helps one to quickly adapt to fast changing scenarios. Emotional intelligence demands adapting things. Shopkeeper was powerful at his shop, whereas poet was weak. So the poet was unable to stand before the shopkeeper and cleverly withdraw his argument. So the speaker is emotional for a while, but he realizes the strength of the shopkeeper. His emotional intelligence cautions him about the unwilling situation. The speaker at once adapts himself to the unfolding screen. He saves himself and the shopkeeper too. So these are main points in this learn from this applying the story. So uh, one check about our emotions. Check once our emotions. Here of the story, the poet expresses dissatisfaction in a right manner in the beginning. Once remember, the speaker gets a defective bar of soap, but the speaker points out the defective in a very polite manner. He talks about the fault in a right way, uses Hindi, and I admit that his Hindi is not as good as his English. So try to understand. The poet gets angry later, not first. The speaker gets a defective piece of soap. He talks about it in a very polite way. But the shopkeeper harshly denies it. Still, the speaker keeps his cool and smiles. But the shopkeeper continues to argue rudely, so the speaker too becomes angry. So the poet is friendly with the shopkeeper, but not accepted. Yes, actually, he moves friendly. I can certainly say the speaker is friendly with the shopkeeper. The speaker for long keeps his cool. He points out the defect in the piece of his soap very politely. He keeps spilling at the shopkeeper despite the speaker's rude manners. Did not lose temper in the beginning. I can definitely say that the speaker has not lost his temper in the beginning. He says clearly he is keeping his cool. He adds that he repeatedly smiles at the shopkeeper. So it is clear that the speaker maintains his calm mode. So these all things are discussed already. Once why I am repeated these things, uh, you have may balance your emotions finally. That is very important. The speakers face a bitter experience. Bitter. He is polite and but the smiling, but the shopkeeper is harsh and loud. The speaker too becomes angry for a short while, but he quickly balances his emotions. He noticed that the shopkeeper is much stronger than him. Gathering crowd also makes the speaker control his temper. He accepts the defective so he also sees that this accepting is only for now, not next time. That is one way of comforting himself. So my dear student, all these things are discussed very clearly. So once what I am saying now, are you emotional intelligent? One self-assessment test. I ask few questions to you now. So yes or no? So yes or no? Hmm? So yes or no questions carefully answered. If you score between 18 to 12, you are emotional. Well, yes. If your score is less than 10, you need to improve emotional intelligence for better communication and relations. Remember this. This is very important task because of checking self-assessment test. This is self-assessment test. Uh, First one is can you differentiate negative emotions? Can you differentiate negative emotions? మీకు నెగిటివ్కి పాజిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ తెలియాలి. ఫస్ట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎమోషన్స్లో టూ టైప్స్ ఉంటాయి. వన్ ఈజ్ పాజిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్, సెకండ్ వన్ ఈజ్ నెగిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్. కెన్ యూ డిఫరెన్షియేట్ నెగిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్? ఎస్, that is one mark you have got. Second question, Do you give importance to facts and figures feelings? Do you give importance of facts and figures feelings? Somebody says yes, somebody says I think no. Hmm? And the second one, do you use emotions creatively? Do you use emotions creatively? Yes. We are depending on situations and position, environment, surrounding happenings. The fourth one is, do you control anger while others irritated you? It is very, very important. Nobody can control, I think. Do you control anger while others irritated you? Yes, you are definitely controlled it if you others irritated to you or not. And do you, next question, do you feel elevated when others praise you? Do you elevated when others praise you? No. And next one, do you try to understand the feelings of others? Very, very important. Do you try to understand the feelings of others? Otherwise you can't do anything, because of this is very, very important task. If you can't understanding other feelings, how can you maintain the communication? And next one is, are you empathetic towards others? Are you empathetic toward others? Are you empathetic toward others? Yes. Empathetic means understanding mentality. And the next one is, do you give value to others' opinions? This is also very important. Some persons are not give to others opinions to give value. So we are trying to give value to others' opinions. And ninth one, have you ever comforted people emotionally? Have you ever comforted people emotionally? Have you ever comforted people emotionally? Yes. And do you have clarity about your future? This is the 10th one question. Do you have clarity about your future? Yes. Everyone have a certain goals, ambitions in his or her life. And 11th, do you laugh when others crack jokes on you? Do you laugh when others crack jokes on you? Yes. Can you speak confidently with the opposite gender? Can you speak confidently with the opposite gender? This is gender, female and male, or third one, gender. Yes. Do you frequently seek somebody to motivate you? Do you speak? Do you frequently seek somebody to motivate? No, no, no. And 14, do you reconcile with friends after a quarrel? Yes. Can you say that all your emotional needs are fulfilled? Can you say that all your needs are fulfilled? No. And 16, do you hurt people knowingly? Do you hurt people knowingly? No. తెలిసి ఇతరులు మనము బాధ పెట్టడం. The next one, do you keep to yourself existing news for a long time? Do you keep to yourself existing news for a long time? No. Have you ever surprised feelings forcibly? No. I think you have got it more than 12. How many SS are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, more than 10 we are in uh, emotional well. Your emotionals intelligence are well. So try to improve these all things, my dears. Otherwise you can't do anything. I say in this one last point here are discussed in this video. uh, I say a few things about positive and negative emotions. What are the positive, what are the negative, what are the positive and what are the negative emotions. Emotions, some people suppress their feelings to make everyone comfortable. They are feel deep pain. కొంతమంది వాళ్ళు బాధపడుతున్నా సరే ఇతరులని కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఉంచడానికి ఇష్టపడతారు. Some people over express their feelings to make everyone get hurt. They enjoyed sadistic joy. వాళ్ళ ఆనందం కోసం ఇతరులు ఎంతైనా క్రాక్ జ్యూస్ కానీ ఇబ్బంది పెట్టే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉంటారు. సరే, దీస్ ఆర్ ఎమోషన్స్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువగా ఉంటారు. ఇక్కడ ఎమోషన్స్ మే వెరీ బ్రాడ్లీ be defined as one's feelings or reactions during one's interaction with others. ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. భావోద్వేదం అంటే ఇతరులతో సంబంధాలలో ఒకరు అనుభవించే అనుభూతులు లేదా స్పందనలే వారు భావం. ఎమోషన్స్ ఆర్ టూ టైప్స్. వన్ ఈజ్ పాజిటివ్ ఆర్ అనదర్ వన్ ఈజ్ నెగిటివ్. పాజిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, నెగిటివ్ ఎమోషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒకసారి మీకు రీడ్ చేస్తాను, 12 ఎమోషన్స్ రీడ్ చేస్తాను. 12ని హౌ మనీ పాజిటివ్ హౌ మనీ నెగిటివ్ని మనము బ్రేక్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసి వీడియోని క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఎమోషన్స్. వన్ ఈజ్ లవ్, సెకండ్ వన్ ఈజ్ అటాచ్మెంట్, థర్డ్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఫియర్, fourth one is joy, fifth one is satisfaction, seventh one is shame, third one is hope, next one is hope, next one is pride, I think eighth one, ninth one is anxiety, 10th one guilty, 11th one happiness, 12th one enemy. These are all some emotions. So can divided how many positive emotions are there in or negative emotions are there. The first one, love, is positive emotion. Attachment is negative emotion. Fear is also negative emotion. Joy is the positive emotion. Satisfaction is the positive emotion. Shame is the negative emotion. Hope is the positive emotion. Pride is the positive emotion. Anxiety is the negative emotion. Guilty or guilt is negative emotion. And 11th one is happiness, is completely positive emotion. And the 12th one, enemy, is the negative emotions. I think 6 positive emotions, 6 negative emotions are there. So these emotions, when you have play, be careful, because some persons are get hurt or upset if you not play the proper. So my dears, when you are play these emotions very very carefully, otherwise some persons are get hurt or upset. I think I have quite a number of times got upset and hurt as others disappointed me or irritated me. In the beginning, I used to be angry and shout at them at the highest pitch. Yet at other times, I used to break down and started crying. But gradually, I have learned to overcome many anger and disappointment. My parents' caring words, my teachers' encouraging guidance, friends' affectionate, concentrate, and invaluable influence to certain books have collectively brought a quantitative change in me. Now I can say I use my emotional intelligence. I respond aptly to any situation. I totally stopped reacting emotionally. Excellent. Emotional intelligence is my mantra now. I follow it. I recommended it to others. I chant it. I recite it. I am happy about it. I am satisfied. I want everyone to enjoy this blissful state gifted to us by emotional intelligence. So this is very important topic. Just today I introduced the emotions and importance with all examples and stories. Next class and next video discussing about question wide and explanations. Thank you. Play this video, my dear students.